Hi, my name is Eddie, and I am a therapist in New Jersey who specializes in issues related to anxiety, stress, trauma, and PTSD. So, today I want to talk about a recipe for success. I think that often, especially as a therapist, people want to know, like, how do I know that therapy is working? What is there, like this magic bullet that I'm going to wake up one day and I'm going to be better and it's going to be great and my whole life is going to be different? The thing that I say to people is change is often this really subtle thing. I mean, it can be major, like quitting your job and, like having your dream job, or finding the person and you're like found the love of your life, or you finally achieved, I don't know, the goal that you've always wanted to achieve. But really getting to that point is often the end result of a lot of baby steps that have come before it. And so therefore I focus with my clients on really working what I consider the recipe for success. And success is different for everyone. I think it is a very personal definition, and so it is not something that you can say as a blanket statement. But of course I'm going to make a blanket statement because I think that you can apply these things in every situation and every definition of what is success, and those things will work. So the first thing is mindset, positive mindset. There is the adage of, whether you say you can or you can't, you're true. Both things can be true depending on how you see a situation or how you see the world. If you see the world from a place of I can't, I won't, it's too hard, this won't work, they told me I can't do it, I won't, well, then you're already creating an environment where the thing that you want to change becomes an uphill battle because you have decided that it's hard, or you have decided that you can't do it, or you have decided that they are going to judge, or it's not going to work. If you focus on the mindset that this may be difficult, this may be challenging, but I am up for it, or I am committed to it, or I am going to do my best, then you increase your likelihood for success because you are already deciding that it is possible. It is possible. It's not impossible. It is I'm possible. So mindset is one of those things that you, from the beginning, I always say I focus on wholeheartedly. Is not so much you have to want it per se. It's about recognizing that you're gonna really try really hard. Like you're gonna be optimistic about it. And when I say optimistic about it, it's not living in the land of, oh, it's perfect and it's gonna work out and we're just gonna do this and we're gonna work through our challenges. It yes, that's great, but also it's really just being of a belief that I'm gonna really try, and I think I can do this. Ideally, you'd like to say I'm doing it, ideally. But if you can get to a place where you're just saying, you know what, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna give it my all, and I'm just gonna work at it, and like I will be successful. And again, regardless of the outcome, if your focus is on doing the best that you can, that alone, regardless of the outcome, is you can give yourself a pat on the back for this feeling that, you know what, I tried, like I did my best. I went in with a positive mindset, and and luckily, knock on wood, whatever you have here, you will have success. But ultimately, I think if you come into a situation with a positive mindset, regardless of the outcome, you increase your chances for success. The other thing is routines and good habits. I cannot stress enough the importance of having routines and habits, good habits put in place to support whatever it is that you're working on. So again, somebody can say, I want to write a book, I want to lose the weight, I want to get a new job, I want to open my own business, I want to meet the person of my dreams. Okay, and I've taken the positive mindset that I can do it and I think I can be successful, and I got it. But then you don't have any routines or good habits in place, right? You're still kind of doing these things that are either haphazard or inconsistent and don't have any structure to them, how can you really measure success? How can you really measure change if you're not working at it consistently? And I talk about the importance of writing things down and scheduling things and putting things in your schedule and working at it, right? So something like I want to write a book. Okay, like I'm a good writer. I think I'm a good writer. People tell me that I can write, and so I'm gonna work. I want to be a writer, and you're like, that's awesome, and I'm all for that. And you're gonna quit your job when you become a writer. However, I then ask, well, what are you doing to work on that? Well, I tried that one time, and I tried on the weekend, and it's really hard, and I couldn't find the thing, and my power cord didn't work. Okay, like we're already, again, positive mindset. We've made a commitment to something, we've asserted ourselves, but then we don't have any routine or we don't have any good habits in place to support that success. So while maybe you are normally not having time to write, you got to find some time to write. 15 minutes, where it's like at 6 o'clock every night for 15 minutes, I write. And and I don't even want to say to have a goal in mind of 1,000 words a day, or again, you can do that, but I think just putting in the routine and the consistency of this is what I do on a daily basis, or this is what I do during the week, or this is what I do on weekends, where I spend 15 minutes and I do it every, whatever, and you have a good habit in place where whatever is going to help you be successful, whether it's at a coffee shop, whether it's quietly in a room, whether you have to go to your car, whatever it is that you do to have that good habit in place. And in the beginning, like with anything, you're learning something new or you're sacrificing something, it's going to be an adjustment. You're going to have to figure it out. But what is sustainable? What is something that you can do every day or 5 days a week or whatever it is? What is something you can do every day? Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. And if you can implement that routine and that good habit, then again, you increase your likelihood for success. The other part of the recipe is compassion. I can't even, that, it's related to, again, an aspect of mindset, right? We are going to make mistakes. Change is messy and it is awkward and it is weird, and we're trying to navigate what is working and not working. And if you then add this aspect of I'm a loser, I can't do this, I'm so stupid, I don't know what I'm doing, I just should give up, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid. Well, if you go in, forget the mindset, but without a level of compassion for yourself, that one, you're a human being and you're trying something that maybe you've never tried before, or maybe you've done this is the 100th time you're trying this and you're stumbling and you're trying to figure it out. Well, if you give yourself a level of compassion, then you increase your level of success, because you're sort of saying, okay, like I am capable, like I'm really struggling right now, but I'm gonna give myself compassion. I could only do 10 minutes today. I really wanted to do 30, but you know what? I got 10 minutes in. Like that's 10 minutes that I didn't have a month ago or a year ago. So focusing on that aspect of compassion, again, and I would tie that in with self-love. If you're giving yourself compassion, it often means that then you have a level of self-love for yourself. I think those two go hand in hand. If you love yourself, if you work on this notion of I am doing these things to be my best self, not only for myself, but maybe for my loved ones, my family, for my future. If you're giving yourself an aspect that love is present here, love of self, you increase your likelihood for success, because in those moments of just despair and frustration and sadness and disappointment, the love of self will say, okay, get back up and keep going, because you're worth it. You are worthy of having the success. You are giving yourself a chance to be successful and to be happy, and I love you, and so let's get back up and let's keep going. So adding that aspect of compassion and self-love, important. I would add recipe to success. Also, you can't have success without effort. And I say effort and not hard work because I don't want people to attach a judgment about what hard work is. Everyone's definition of hard work is different, but it is just putting in the effort. If you're putting in the effort, you're, in my opinion, increasing your level of success. And I don't want to say hard work because it's not something, sometimes it doesn't have to be hard. If you want to be a writer, writing may come really easily to you. It may not be frustrating or you have writer's block. It may be really easy. However, if you're not putting in the effort to sit down and write for a period of time with a positive mindset and a belief that why you're doing what you're doing is for love of self and for love of others, well then again, you're not going to struggle. It's not, to me, it's not about hard work. Hard work, sure, I would like to say is important, but I'd rather you focus on putting in the effort, getting up every day and working at your thing. Effort, having the routine in place that, oh, it's 3:30 and I have to be writing, or whatever it is, or it's 6:30, I put the kids to bed. I know I really want to get on TikTok and Instagram or whatever, I don't know, and just mindlessly, decompress after a long day. No, I'm getting on the computer for 15 minutes and I'm working and I'm putting in the effort. Again, I say at the end of, 365 days, I like to use that term a lot. Where will you be in 365 days if you're putting in the effort every day, or not every day, but consistently? That's the other thing. Other aspect, other ingredient to the recipe for success is patience. I know we all know that change takes time, and I am with you in that we want change to happen overnight. I would love to see success happen overnight, but it often doesn't happen that way, and that is really frustrating. But it is one of those things that you have to carry with you, and again, to keep going and to recognize that, hey, I'm gonna have struggles and this is gonna be hard, but I am going to be patient, and I know that if I do these things, I will ultimately have success. And success, I keep going back to the definition of success is different, and what success may not be, what ends up being success may not be what you started off with being, but that level of putting in the effort and the work and the perseverance and the positive mindset, you cannot help but change and be different because of these things that you're putting into place. And be patient for it. The suckiness of your life, or the parts of your life that did not get like that overnight, it will not get better overnight. But you're putting in the effort to get better, and being patient and recognizing that, like, if you watch paint dry, it won't dry that much faster. You just keep working at it and believing and having routines and being consistent, you will have success. Again, regardless of you become a published novelist, maybe not, but you have this body of work maybe that you've written down that you can share in your own way through, I don't know, YouTube or TikTok or whatever is out there. I'm not down with that kind of social media languaging, but okay. And finally, it is just recognizing, I did not include willpower and motivation because those things are sort of fleeting. Motivation and willpower are great, and if you have it, like, that is wonderful and fantastic, but they are not necessary ingredients for success because they will come and go. Like with any recipe, it's like a dash of something that, yes, makes it a little bit better. However, it's not necessary for the end result to happen. It's great, but don't depend on willpower and motivation to be in the mix so that you can be successful. And I will post another video about decision fatigue and how decision fatigue impacts our motivation and our willpower. And so if you have decision fatigue, it's really hard to live in the space of willpower and motivation to do things because you just don't have it. You're tired, you're exhausted, and everything else is calling you, and you don't have it, right? So I don't incorporate motivation and willpower in this recipe, but recognize, yeah, it can be helpful, but it's not necessary. So adding those things together, work on those things together, culminating together, will increase your likelihood for success. Now, as somebody who likes to bake, I follow a recipe to a T, and I sprinkle things here and there. And I recognize that, I don't need that much sugar. I don't need that much whatever. However, if the recipe does not come out like it says in the book, I cannot blame the recipe book or the author for it failing. I have to look at myself and recognize I did tweak the recipe a little bit, so I can't be surprised that it didn't work out. Or you tweak the recipe, but you didn't write it down and you didn't document it and you didn't do it in any way, that it turned out to be the greatest thing ever, but you can't recreate it because you were just messing around with the recipe and it came out great, and now you don't know what you did to do it, so you can't replicate it, and so then you're not going to sort of repeat success, right? So success can happen, it can be a fleeting thing, but it's like chasing lightning. What did I do? I don't know what I did. And now you're stressing out about, well, I remember doing this in this certain way, and that's how I had success. And you're just setting yourself up ultimately for failure. So give yourself the recipe, follow the ingredients, follow the guidelines, and work through it little by little, and then tweak it. If after 30 days something is not working, then you tweak it and you make the recipe your own. But again, putting in these ingredients, and I keep using that because it's a recipe for success, putting in those ingredients and working those ingredients together will increase your likelihood for success. So I would love to hear what it is that you're working on, what recipe you're working on for success, whether it's weight loss, whether it's leaving your job, whether it's writing a book, whether it's getting the part-time job, maybe it's finding the love of your life. What are the things that you're doing? I would love to hear about them. So share with me, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.